Very much, Mr. Chairman. Over the last several years, I have heard every member of this committee, all the Democrats, all the Republicans, talk about the importance of independence and neutrality at the IRS. If you genuinely believe in those priorities, you cannot vote for Billy Long's nomination for the IRS commissioner. Here's what's known about Congressman Long. He wasn't on the Ways and Means Committee. He wrote no original tax legislation in 12 years in the Congress. He has no tax policy experience, but he's got lots of tax fraud experience. When he left office, he threw in with a bunch of fly-by-night operators selling tax deals that were sketchy at best. He was paid to promote fake tribal tax credits by a company called White River Energy. After White River's scheme got exposed as a fraud in a Bloomberg report in mid-December, the company's CFO reassured panicky investors that everything would work out. They'd soon have friends at the IRS under Donald Trump to take the heat off. He said he'd be able to use his contacts to obtain favors and special private rulings. We have got this on tape. The CFO and several other White River employees then started making big-dollar donations to Congressman Long's Senate campaign. That had been mothballed all the way back to 2022. More than $165,000 came into the campaign after Trump announced Long's nomination. Much of it was from people affiliated with White River. Mr. Long pocketed $130,000 of that himself. Now, he has repeatedly been asked to explain his role in the scheme I've described. What did he know about these fake tax credits? Who did he talk to about them? Why did White River employees think it was a good idea to donate to his dormant campaign? None of those questions were answered. Finance Committee investigators obtained information from the IRS that these tribal tax credits Congressman Long helped sell were indeed fake, and the promoters could face prosecution. Staff read that confirmation aloud to Congressman Long last month. He became outraged. He demanded to know who at the IRS had provided that information to the Finance Committee. He said he'd find out immediately if he gets confirmed. If his involvement in that one tax scam wasn't enough, there is more. He was slinging employee retention tax credits long after they had technically expired, when a well-meaning rescue program for small businesses had been overrun by fraudsters. Congressman Long is on tape saying that everybody qualifies for the employee retention tax credit. That's a lie. He bragged about getting money for a funeral home, even though the pandemic was a boom time for that kind of business due to the number of Americans dying of COVID-19. Finance Committee investigators obtained another recording, this time of an executive at a firm called Appreciation Financial that sold these tax scam-ridden tax credits. He said he made Congressman Long his guest to the inauguration earlier this year. He said they had dinner and spent a few nights together. His exact quote on the subject of IRS enforcement around employee retention credits is this: "We could be worried," and I quote here, "about promoter audits now that we don't have to worry about any of that now with Billy coming in." Echoing the executive at White River, the second tax credit promoter said he'd been promised special favors by Congressman Long himself. Again, we've got it on tape. I haven't even mentioned Congressman Long's multiple letters urging politically motivated attacks against nonprofit organizations. That, colleagues, is going to be the opposite of neutrality and independence that Democrats and Republicans talk about here in the committee. The fact is, these scandals I'm mentioning are too big to ignore. And colleagues, I know for a fact that there is going to be more troubling information that comes to light. So I close with this. It is not too late to go back and find somebody who isn't surrounded by scandal, who's got the experience managing a large organization, who's got some real experience working on tax policy. What's needed in our country now, more than ever, is an independent IRS. For that reason, I strongly oppose the Long nomination, and I'm going to urge all my colleagues to do the same. Thank you, Senator Crapo.